UGA researchers looked at 17 states that had legalized medical marijuana as of 2013 and 9 different medical conditions. The conclusion, marijuana use saved Medicare more than $160 million in 2013 and could have saved almost triple that had it been legal in all states.
When marijuana becomes a medical option for people, then their use of prescription drugs falls.
David Bradford is one of the authors of the study.
We think that the only plausible mechanism is that people are shifting, at least in part, towards using marijuana as medicine.
One of the problems in the war on drugs and in our whole attitude towards drugs is that since approximately 1914, the Harrison Narcotic Act is a kind of a watershed mark, but since approximately that time, there has been a steadily increasing medical monopolization of drugs, so that medicine, the medical profession and the government are in alliance in a paternalistic way, telling people what they can take and what they can't take.
There is very little education, formal education in medical schools, in nursing, in pharmacies, as it relates to the screening, evaluation, and proper treatment of patients with chronic pain. Are there not already many education material out there? Yes, there is significant educational material out there, but many of them have been funded through subsidy from pharmaceutical companies. And I think that one of the concerns has been to what extent there may be some conflict, whether that in turn affects the quality of the material.
Current treatments, primarily medications and psychotherapy, are effective, but only for some people, some of the time, and often only partially. Most frustrating to me is that we haven't seen any significant progress in the treatment of these conditions in the past 4 decades.
Put people to sleep and they will relieve anxiety. As soon as we start to ask the question, over 2, 3, 4 months or 2, 3, 4 years, what's the effect? I don't think we know the answer to this. And that's largely because it hasn't been looked for very carefully.
Drug corruption of the central institutions of society on a massive scale.
But that has gone on till our days. We have alcohol, we have tobacco.
Well, this is my very point, that every society chooses a small number of substances, no matter how toxic, and enshrines them in its cultural values, then demonizes all other substances and uses and then persecutes and launches witch hunts against those users whenever some political pretext requires witch hunts and persecutions. So it's an old game, and it's been played in many places.
As you can tell, such an approach will not come cheaply. Last February, I asked for a $700 million increase in the drug budget for the coming year. And now, over the past 6 months of careful study, we have found an immediate need for another $1.5 billion. With this added $2.2 billion, our 1990 drug budget totals almost $8 billion, the largest increase in history.
I will tell you, as a psychiatrist, our drug policy is insane. It's not based on anything sane or rational or scientific. So there are some drugs that allow you to have other perspectives and bigger perspectives, or allow you to feel connected or feel an empathy for another person or for yourself. So we have a lot of people who are sort of comfortably numb, sweeping some of their symptoms under the carpet.
They relax me. They feel like some people take a drink so that they're not uptight, so that they can talk easier, where I take a Valium, you know.
As opposed to having access to something more potent and more effective that would help them take the carpet out back, beat the hell out of it, vacuum the whole floor, and then put the carpet back down.
You start feeling all kinds of different effects from all these bloody pills. You know, you get to a point where even feeling this way is an ugly feeling, and an ugly feeling that you can't get rid of, because there's no pills to take to get rid of it.
One of the things that's particularly concerning for me as a psychiatrist is that our sort of national diagnosis has morphed from neurotic to psychotic, that we've gone from everybody being on antidepressants to people being on antipsychotics now, and especially kids. I am optimistic about not just minimizing harm, but starting to talk about maximizing benefits.